भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम् तन्मनः तन्मनः प्राणे उत्तरात् Tanmanah, that mind, the mind in which all the sense organs, the activities of all the sense organs are merged, that mind, prane. So vang manasit praliyate, manah prane. The mind merges into prana, that's the statement now. So therefore the question arises here. Indirvrutti layadharasya manasah vrittilayadharam nirupayati. The activities of all sense organs, they merge into the mind that was determined in the previous adhikaranam. Now, manasah vrittilayadharam, where do the activities of the mind, where do they merge? Nirupayati. That's what now the Sutrakara explains. Tanmanah. Vrittam anudya adhikaranasya vishayam aha. Reiterating what has gone by in the previous adhikaranam, what is the vishaya? The subject matter, the passage which is now being discussed in this particular adhikarana, Bhashyakara says. Let us read the Bhashya. Samadhigatam etad वाङ् मनसि सम्पद्यते इत्यत्र वृत्तिसम्पत्ति विवक्षा इति. This is Vruttanuvada, reiterating what has been established in the previous adhikaranam. Samadhigatam etat. Now this has been determined, this has been arrived at, understood. Vāng manasi sampadhyate. The statement Vāng manasi sampadhyate, the speech merges into mind in that statement. Idatra vritti sampatti vivakshayate. Even though the Shruti uses the word Vāk, which means the organ of speech, vivaksha, the intended meaning is vritti sampatti. It is the activity of the speech that merges into the mind. This has been determined in the previous adhikaranam. Further, atha yaduttarvakyam manah prane iti kimatrapi vritti sampattireva vivakshate uta वृत्तिमत् संपत्तिः इति विचिकित्सायां वृत्तिमत् संपत्तिः एव अत्र इति प्राप्तम्. अथ thereafter यत् उत्तरवाक्यम्, then the subsequent statements, vakya, manah prana sampadhyate, the mind merges into prana, iti. So this is Vishaya. This vakya is a Vishaya or the subject matter of this adhikaranam. So, manasa vrittalaya adharan, what's the adharan? What's the locus of the merger of the activity of the mind? Kim atrapi vritti sampatti eva vakshate. Like the previous adhikaranam, by the word speech was meant the activity of the speech. Similarly, by the word manaha, the mind, is it the activity of the mind that is intended by the Shruti? Uta vrittimat sampattihi. Or in this particular case, the Shruti means literally not the activity of the mind itself merges into the prana. So even though in case of speech, the conclusion was by the word speech is meant the activity of speech and not the entity, namely speech. But in manaha, so why don't you follow the same trend? That by manaha, Shruti means the activity of mind. He says no. Shruti nyayabhyam samshaya. So vakya kramat, artha kramat, that we saw yesterday, adhikarana follows the vakya krama and artha krama. Shruti nyayabhyam samshaya. Shruti says manah prane nyaya. Nyaya means the rule says that a thing can merge only into its material cause, a direct material cause, and not something else. So previously also this reason was advanced, that because the manaha, the mind, is not the material cause of the speech, therefore speech cannot merge into mind, because the rule is that an entity can merge only in the material cause. The material cause also is twofold: immediate material cause and indirect material cause. So that's now the question. So Purva Pakshi wants to show how prana is indirectly the material cause of the mind. Therefore, the mind as such, the entity, should merge into prana. So this adhikaranam or this sutra is to determine whether an entity can merge into an indirect material cause or it can merge only into direct material cause. That's the idea. So Shruti is manah prana. Shruti says the mind merges into prana. Nyaya says an entity can merge only into the immediate cause and not an indirect material cause. Therefore, Shruti says one thing, the entity mind. The Nyaya, the rule says, it cannot be entity, it is the activity of the mind. So these two interpretations are possible. Therefore the doubt can arise. And that is where the role of Brahma Sutra is, to resolve the doubts which arise with reference to understanding the different statements of the Upanishads. और वृत्ति द्वैविध्य अन्याय से वृत्ति व्युत्पत्ति द्वैविध्य सिद्धया संशय. और the word manah can mean the manovritti, or manah can also mean the entity mind. That way also. इति किमत्रापि वृत्ति संप्रदेय विवक्ष्यते. So Purva Pakshi said, the question was, the doubt is whether by the mind manah, word manah, does the Shruti mean the activity of the mind? Uta vrittimat sampatti, or it is the mind possessing the activity. Iti vichikitsayam, when that doubt arises, Purva Paksha, vrittimat sampatti iti praptam. Purva Pakshi says that according to us, it is the vrittimat, not the activity of the mind, it is mind itself that merges into prana. This is what our position is, Purva Pakshi says. Gives a reason, Shruti anugrahat prakritikatva upattescha. Shruti anugrahat, because Shruti says manah, so it says, and tat prakritikatva upattescha. And we can also show how the prana is the material cause of the mind. Therefore, our contention is, it is the mind that merges into prana. So, says Ratnabhava, Purvam Prabhalanyaya Virodhat Vagidi Shrutehe Badaha Kritaha. Purvam Prabhalanyaya Virodhat. That entity can merge only into material cause and not into anything else. That's Prabhalanyaya. And since the mind is not the material cause of the speech, therefore speech cannot merge into mind. Virodha. Shrutehe bhadaha kritaha. Therefore Shruti, even though Shruti says vak, bhadaha kritaha, the word vak was interpreted as vak vritti by lakshana vritti. It is not the vachyartha that was taken, lakshyartha. Shrutehe bhadaha means the discarding of the literal meaning was done and the implied meaning was taken. Ihatu, but here that prabala nyaya, ihatu adat avatmaka pranasya annatmaka manah prakrutvitvena prakruto vikarneti nyaya anugrahat. In case of the prana in the mind, avatmaka pranasya apomaya prana. Chandogya Upanishad says prana is the product of the element water. Annamayami somya manaha. The mind is the product of the element annam. So, avatmakat pranasya, and then definitely water is the material cause of earth. That is established. Adbhyah prithvi. So water is the material cause of the earth. Annam means earth. And then, well, if prana means water and the manas means annam or earth, then water is definitely the material cause of the earth. In that sense, prana can be shown to be the material cause of the mind, and so by your rule also, the mind should merge into prana, Purva-Pakshi says. Prakruto vikar layati nyaya anugrahat. Vikara or the product merges into Prakriti or the material cause, so that rule also is now favorable here. The word Shruti, word Manaha is favorable, and the rule that an entity merges into the material cause also applies here, so that is also favorable. Nyaya Anugraha is also there. Now Manashruti Bhadya. Like the previous case, you discarded the literal meaning of the word vak and interpreted that as vak-vritti. In this case, that is not necessary. The manashruti bhadya, the literal meaning of the word manaha is not to be discarded, doesn't have to be discarded. It is the manaha, the entity mind, that merges into prana. Iti purva-paksha phalam purvavata. So what is Purva-Paksha Phalam? That it is the entity mind as an entity merged into prana. So there will be moksha because there is no mind left for being born again. Siddhantastu abannayo prakriti vikriti bhavepi. Siddhanti says that yes, water is the material cause of earth, accepted. Natad vikarayoho. But prana is the modification of water and mind is the modification of food, and that relationship of the material cause and effect does not apply to the modifications. Prana manaso tad bhavaha. So prana, which is modification of water, manas, which is modification of annam, cannot be said to be related as the prakriti, vikriti, material cause and effect. Otherwise, what will happen? Hima ghatayoho api tad bhava prasangat. Hima means ice. Ice is the modification of water, and ghata is the pot, modification of earth. So if the vikriti, if the modifications, the same relation applies to modifications also, then by that the ice will become the material cause of pot. Ridiculous. Tad bhava prasanga ataha. Nyaya virodha. So understand that Nyaya Anugraha is not there. The rule that an entity can only merge into its material cause, that rule is not favorable to you. That rule also is violated here. Purva Shruti Bhadyate Vivekaha. Therefore, the word Manaha also, we should not take the literal meaning of the word Manaha. We should take Manaha as the activity of the mind, merged into activity of prana. So then, says here the Bhashya, Purva-Paksha continues, Tathahi Annamayami Somya Manaha Apomaya Pranaha. The Purva-Paksha continues, Tathahi, to illustrate our argument. Annamayami Somya Manaha. Look, Chandogya Upanishad says, Hey Somya, oh good looking one. Manaha, the mind is modification of annam or the food. So Chandogya Upanishad said that the food that we eat, annam ashitam treda vidhiyate. the food that we eat gets divided in three ways. It's Thavishtaya Dhatuhu. The grossest ingredient is discarded as the fishes. The middle element of the food gets transformed as the mamsam or the flesh, and the subtle aspect of the food gets transformed as the mind. Therefore, Annamayami Soumya Manaha. By that, the mind is the modification of Annam or food. Apomaya Prana. Similarly, it was shown there that up or the water that we drink, of that the gross aspect of the water gets rejected as urine. The middle aspect of water becomes blood, and the subtle aspect of water gets transformed as prana or the vital air. In that sense, prana can be said to be the product of water. So, apomaya prana. Prana is the modification of up or the water. Iti annayoni manaha amanante abyonincha pranam apascha annam asrujanta iti shrutihi. Iti avyoni manah amanandi. The Shruti says that the mind has its yoni, the cause is up or the water. And annayoni manasa, and the annayoni manaha, the mind has its source in the food, and abyonincha pranam, prana has its source in the up or the water. Apasya annam asrujanta iti. That the water gave rise to food is well known. You don't need Shruti for that. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavaha. The food is definitely a product of water. This is well known. And so, says Nyayamine, abannayoho prakriti vikriti bhavat tat karyayopi pranamanasoho prakriti tadatmya dvara prakriti vikrititva siddhaya. Abannayoho prakriti vikriti bhavat. The water and the food enjoy the relationship of the material cause and the effect. Therefore, tat karyayoho, therefore, the modifications of water and food, namely prana manaso, the prana is the modification of water, manas is the modification of food, between them also. Prakriti vikriti bhave. If water and food enjoy the relationship of material cause and effect, then their products, the prana and mind also, should enjoy the relationship of material cause and effect. Prani vrittimato manasu laya. Therefore, the mind as an entity merges into prana because prana is the material cause of the mind. Atasya, so Bhashyakara says, Atasya yanmanaha prane prayate annameva tata apsut prayate annam hi manaha apasya pranaha prakriti vikar abhedat iti. So prakriti vikar abhedat. Prakriti, material cause. Vikara, the effect. Like, there is no difference between clay and the pot. Vikara pot is no separate from clay. And then we can take one for the other. So similarly, yan manaha pranaya praliyate annameva tata. The mind which merges into prana, that mind is nothing but annam, food of which it is modification. So annameva tat apsu praliyate. When you say that the mind merges into prana, it is equivalent to saying that the food merges into water. So prana is equal to water. Manah equal to annam. Therefore, annam is the modification of water. So mind is the modification of prana. That's how the equation is. अन्नम ही मन है आपस्य प्राण है प्रकृति विकार अभेदात therefore anna itself is mind, the mind is annam and prana is water and water is the modification, the cause of annam, therefore prana is the cause of mind. Prakriti vikriti abhedat, because the effect and cause are not different from each other. So in a convoluted way, not in a straight way, in a convoluted way, the Purva Pakshi wants to establish that somehow prana and the mana also can be shown as enjoying the relationship of material cause and effect. Therefore, the rule that applied in the case of speech does not apply in case of the mind. That's the idea. प्राणे लियते मनः सवृत्तिकमिति प्राप्तम अनुद्य. So Purva Paksha is that savrittikam manah prane liyate, mind along with its vritti merges into prana. That's the Purva Paksha. Anudya, reiterating that Siddhanta Sutram avatarya, introducing the Siddhanta Sutra. Vyakarati evamiti. What is Siddhanta Sutra? Tan manah prane uttarat. So Vashyakara says, evam prapte brumaha. So when this is the position, what is evam? What the Purva Pakshi said? That how the prana is the indirectly the material cause of the mind, therefore mind can merge into prana. Evam prapte, when that position arises, brumaha, this is what we have to say. No, Siddhantan manah prane uttara, that is Siddhanta Sutra, that's what Bhashyakara explains. Tat api agrihita bhashyendriya vritti manah vritti dvarena eva prane praliyate iti uttaravakyat avagantavyam. So tadapi, that tat is from the sutra. Tan mana, that tat, that mind. Which mind? So meaning the word tat is explained. Agruhita bhashyendriya vritti mana, that mind. Which is the mind? Agruhita bhashyendriya vritti, the mind which has now folded into itself, withdrawn into itself all the activities of all the sense organs. It was explained how the word vak or speech stands for all the sense organs of action as well as perception. So mind has withdrawn into itself the activities of all the sense organs. That mind, manah vritti dvarena prane praliyate. That mind also, vritti dvarena, only through its activities merges into mind, and mind as an entity merges into prana, not mind as an entity merges into prana. Uttarat is what? Iti uttaravakyat avagantavyam. Is to be understood from the uttarva subsequent passages. So sometimes you have to take into account what is said later on to interpret what is said now. Uttarvakya. That will tell us what is Uttarvakya. Says Nyayanirman Darshanaditi पूर्वोक्त युक्तिम अत्र हेतुत्वेन संगृह्णाति. Darshanat, we said earlier that we see how the person who is dying, we find him that he does not talk, but then his mind seems to be functioning. That means the vritti of the activity of the speech has merged into the activity of mind. With darshana, we can see that. So here also we can see he is no more thinking, but is still breathing. So the mind has merged into prana. Bhashyakara says, tathahi sushupsoho mumurshoscha pranavrittau parispandatmikayam avasthitayam manovrittinam upashamo drishyate. Tathahi, we will state, sushupsoho, the person who is sleeping, wants to sleep means sleeping. Mumurshoho, who is dying. So when we observe pranavrittau parispandatmikayam avasthitayam, we find that even for a sleeping person also the breathing continues, and the person who is dying, we find that even though the person does not think, the mind does not seem to be functioning, he is unconscious, and still he is breathing. That means that, so in case of sushupti, the deep sleep, as well as in case of death, so these two observations, darshana, we see this. Pranavrittau parispandatmikayam, vibration of the prana or the breathing of the prana continues, avasthita, that continues. Manovrityana upasama drishyate, we find the cessation of the activity of the mind. This we observe in case of a sleeping person, in case of the person who is dying. So darshana, that hetu which was stated in the Purva Sutra, is also taken here. Manas shabda shrutya swarupa sampattireva ivi kim nasyat. Then Purva says, wait a minute. By the word manaha in the Shruti, why not you say it means that the entity called manaha? So Nacha Bhashyakara says, Nacha manasaha स्वरूपाप्यः प्राणे संभवते अतत् प्रकृतित्वात्. Not that the apyaya, the merger of the mind as an entity takes place in the prana as an entity. Why? Atat prakritikatvat, because prana is not the material cause of the mind. Same reason is given. So says, uktam smarayitva nirasyade. The Purva Pakshi had already talked about this. We already said how the prana is the material cause of the mind. We already demonstrated it to you. How do you declare that prana is not the material cause of the mind? So, uktam smarayitva. So reminds us of what he said, nirasyati, and then it is refuted by Bhashyakara. Says, nanu ityadina. Nanu darshitam manasaha prana prakrutitvam. We already told you how the mind is the prakriti, the material cause of the, how prana is the material cause of mind, we showed you. Prana is the product of water and mana is the product of annam, and water is the material cause of annam, and that's how the prana is the material cause of mana, we showed you. So Bhashyakara says, Naetat saram. No, there is no substance in that. इसमें कोई सार नहीं है. There is no substance in what you are saying, meaning that it sounds good, but there is nothing, it's just not right to say that. स्वकारण द्वारा विकार अन्यन्यम प्रकृति विकारत्वे भी. Ghatadevi Sharavadi Prakriti Prasakti Asaratvam Sadhayati. Why do you say there is no substance in what we say? Because in that case, a pot is modification of earth and plate is another modification of earth. If modifications also can enjoy the relationship of material cause, and the pot will become the material cause of the plate. Then he said that the ice will become the material cause of the pot. Here he says pot can become the material cause of the plate. Therefore, asaratvam, therefore in what you say doesn't make sense. Is sadhayati, asaratvam sadhayati. Nai tat saram. This does not make, is not right. It's so, how it is not right? He is established about Spashikara. Arrived at. Nahi idrushena pranadikena tat prakritvena manaha prane sampattum arhate. Idrushena pranadikena tat prakritvena. Pranadikena paramparaya, in succession, indirectly. So, in this manner, in the indirect material cause, tat prakrititvena, in this man, in the indirect material cause, the effect cannot merge. Mana prane na sampattum arhati. Prana is, by the way you shown, prana is the material cause of the mind, okay, but not directly, only prana, paramparaya, only, in succession, not directly. Says pranadika karya karanata upagamepi yojasya sakshat vikara tatreva tasya yukta. First of all, we can't even accept that even indirectly prana is material cause of mind. We can't even accept that really. This way, in this sequence of succession, one thing cannot become the material cause of the other. So there is no sara in that. Suppose we accept your contention that somehow prana can be shown to be the material cause of the mind, then also yes sakshat vikara tatreva tasya laya. A vikara or modification can merge into immediate material cause and not the subsequent or successive material cause. Evapi Bhashyakara says, Sri Ratnabhava evapi pranasya avvikarta paksha apityartha. Here we accept for the time being that pranasya avvikarta paksha, that prana is the modification of water. That's not what is also meant. That water is not the material cause of prana, but even accept that. Evamapi hi anne manas sampadhyeta apsu cha annam apsu eva cha pranaha. Even if you accept your argument, then also anne mana sampadhyeta. The mind should merge into annam. That's all. And not into prana, not into water. Mind should merge into annam. And apsu annam, that annam in turn will merge into water. And similarly, prana should merge into water. So, apsucha prana. So, pranakara parinatanam apam manas samsthita annakarena parinatam pranamanasopi sakshat prakriti vikrititvam asti. So now when you see this, the water has transformed itself as prana, and annam is present in the mind. Mind is the modification of annam. Therefore, so manas samsthita annakarana. Annam is very much there in the mind, and the water has transformed itself as prana. Therefore, parinamat prana manasopi. Why not we say that the prana and the mind also enjoy the direct relationship of the material cause and effect? So Bhashyakara says, Nahi etasmin vipakshe pranabhava parinatabhyah adbyah manaha jayate iti kinchana pramanamasti tasmat na manasah prane swarupapyah. Etasmin vipakshe, even this paksha, that the mind, annam is the cause of the mind, and water is the cause of prana, even in that paksha, accepting that position also. Prana bhava parinatabhyah adbyah. Fifth case, the prana bhava, so water has transformed itself into prana. Manah jayate. Mind is born of food, but not, and food is born of water, but not water which is transformed itself as prana. From that the food is not born, and from that the mind cannot be born. Idi kinchana pramanamasti. Nor do we find that the mind is born of the food which is born of water, transformed as prana. We do not find any statement of the Shruti Smriti anywhere. Tasman na manasa prane swarupapya. Therefore, the mind does not merge into prana as an entity. So tasmat na manasa prane swarupapya. Tasmat says, tasmat iti pranasya sakshat manah prakrutitva abhavat. Because prana is not directly the material cause of the mind. Manah vrittim lakshayati. Therefore, the word manah in the Shruti means the manovritti by lakshana vritti and not the entity mind. Katham tari manah shabdopatti. Then why does Shruti use the word manah? Thing is, Shruti did not use manovritti, otherwise this question would not arise. So why does Shruti use the word manah? So says Bhashyakara, vritti apyayepi tu shabdah avakalpate vritti vrittimatoho abhedopacharat iti darshitam. That the word manah can be interpreted as the manovritti or the activity of mind, taking the oneness between the vritti and vrittimat, the activity and one possessed of the activity, taking them as one. The word manah can be interpreted as the vritti of the manah, and therefore the word manah shabda also is quite alright. So that adhikaranam is over. Now, so prana tejasi. Shruti says that the prana gets now merged into tejas or fire. So now that's a different kind of argument. You see, the adhikarana changes as the line of argument changes. The same argument applies and you don't need to change the adhikaranam. Therefore, second sutra was ataheva sarvani anu. So rule that applies to the organ of speech applies to all the sense organs. They were included in the same adhikaranam. But now that same argument or reasoning does not apply to the mind and prana, therefore other adhikaranam. Now that argument does not apply to the prana and tejas, therefore yet other adhikaranam. You see? So now the adhikarana changes. Yasmin prane manasa vrittilaya tasyapi vrittilaya adharam nirupayate. Now the prana in which the activity of mind has merged, what is the locus of the merger of that prana into which the mind has merged or activity of mind has merged? So next sutra says, Saha adhyakshe tadupagamādibhyah. Saha adhyakshe, what is saha? Saha prana. Because, see earlier, manaha prana, so prana is already mentioned. See, the pronoun saha can only be employed for something which is already known to us. That, you can't say that. So, he came. You can't say that. Says, I was talking to Jagadish and then he told me. Then he applies to that person. But all of a sudden he says, he told me. Who told you? So the pronoun cannot be used unless a noun has been used earlier. Unless a noun is known to us, pronoun cannot be used. So saha is a pronoun that. Which that? So noun should be known to us, then only pronoun can be used. So the previous sutra said, manah prane. So word prana is already in our mind. The mind merges into prana, saha. Therefore that prana. So that word saha applies to prana. So that prana, adhyaksha. Adhyaksha means what? Presiding entity. That's called adhyaksha. Or ruler, also called adhyaksha. So therefore adhyaksha, sabha adhyaksha. The one who is presiding entity of this particular meeting. Or one is ruler. So adhyaksha. Here the word adhyaksha is for jivatma. Saha adhyaksha, the prana merged into jivatma. Now that's a different thing. Shruti says prana tejasi, the prana merged into fire. But this sutra says no, prana merges into jivatma. Well, how, on what basis? Tat upagamādibhyah. Bhyah means that is the hetu. Fifth case is a hetu. Bhyah is the plural. So then there are more than two hetus. So three reasons are given. Tat upagamādibhyah. Tam jivam prati upagama anugamana avasthanebhyah hetubhyah. Three hetus or reasons will be provided. Upagama, anugamana, avasthana. Upagama, approaching. Anugama, following. See, Rama gacchati, Lakshmana anugacchati. Anu means following. Upa means approaching. So, tad vidman upasrupyatam. When you approach a wise person, so upagama means what? Approaching. Anugama means what? Following. And avasthana means standing, being, subsisting. Three reasons. The approaching, following and subsisting. Hetubhyah. So, what are these three sentences? Evam, evameva, imam atmanam, antakale, sarve pranaha, abhisamayanti. He said in the Shruti that at the time of death, all the sense organs merge into Atma, into Jivatma. That's how approaching. Tam utkrantam pranaha anutkramati. When Jivatma departs from here, the prana also follows him. Iti anugamanam, following. And savijnano bhavati. Bhagavad Upanishad says that at the time of death, the jiva becomes conscious. So consciousness can be there, provided subtle body is there, otherwise consciousness cannot be. So prana is there. So jiva becomes conscious while departing from this body. Imagine that Jivatma has his seat in the heart. Now when he is departing from the body, he is departing from the heart through an aperture in the heart. So when he comes to the appropriate opening in the heart, at that time becomes conscious of what his next destination is going to be. Savijnano bhavati. He becomes possessed of vijnana, meaning what? The means of knowledge. Meaning that the mind and sense organs must be there. The only vijnana or consciousness is possible. So that statement says that the prana is very much there. Where? In the Jivatma. So prana approaches Jivatma first. Prana departs after Jivatma, and prana is in Jivatma. Therefore, prana merges into Jivatma and not into element fire. Even though the Shruti says prana tejasi. Read the Nyayamala. असोर भूतेषु जीवेवा लयो भूतेषु तच्छ्रुते सब प्राणस्तेजसीत्याह न तो जीव इति क्वचित्. असो मीन्स प्राण. असो भूतेषु जीवेवा लयः. There should be comma there. Doubt. असो प्राणस्य भूतेषु लयः जीवेवा लयः. Does the prana merge into the elements or does it merge into the Jivatma? Then the Purvapaksha, Bhuteshu. Purvapakshi says the prana merges into the 5 elements. Why? Tashrute, because the Shruti says prana tejasi. The prana merges into element fire, where this word fire stands for all the 5 elements. So according to Shruti, the prana merges into 5 elements. Tashrute. Which Shruti are talking about? Sab pranas tesityaha. Shruti says that the prana merges into tejas or the element fire or 5 elements. Natu jive. Nowhere do we find that the Shruti does not say the prana merge into jiva. So Chandogya Shruti clearly says prana merges into tejas, 5 elements. Does not say prana merges into jiva. So we say that the prana merges into the 5 elements. That's the Purvapaksha. And he also gives his own reason also hetu. Evam atmanam pranayanti iti chashrudehe. But no, evam eva yam atmanam pranaha yanti. Shruti says that the prana all approach the Atma at the time of death. Jive litva sahitena punarbhuteshu liyate. Therefore, the Siddhanti says we should add one more step here. Even though Shruti says pranaha tejasi. You know what we should understand? Pranaha adhyaksha tejasi. One step is implied that the prana merges into Jivatma and then through Jivatma merges into fire or 5 elements. That's a Siddhanta. Very interesting, how the death takes place. Says the Vaiyasika Nyayamala Tika Antarlinaikadashendriya yuktasya pranasya. Now it is established prana is the one in whom the mind has merged. What's the mind? Mind that in which the 10 sense organs are merged. So prana is the one in which 11 things are merged. 10 sense organs and the mind. These 11 have merged into prana. That prana. Tejo banneshu bhuteshu vruttya pravilayah. So this is the Purvapaksha. This prana, so again vritti, it is understood that not prana as an entity but activity of the prana merges into the 3 elements in Chandogya or 5 elements in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Tejo banneshu, in the fire, water and earth, bhuteshu vruttya pravilayah, the prana merges into 3 elements. The activity of prana merges into 3 elements. Natu jive, but not in jiva. Prana tejaseti shrutehe, because Shruti says prana merges into tejas or fire. Idi prapte brumahan. When this Purva Paksha arises, then Siddhanta says, this is what we have to say. Evameva ivam atmanam antakale sarve pranaha abhisamayanti idi shrutihi jive pranalayam aha. See, the idea is that when you interpret any particular passage or a statement in the Upanishad somewhere, like in Chandogya, we should also take into account what is said elsewhere on the same subject. Sometimes the same subject is discussed in more than one Upanishads. So similarly, this aspect of death is discussed in more than one Upanishads. In Chandogya, in Brihadaranyaka, in Prashnopanishad. So what is, now we look upon all the Upanishads as one body of knowledge. So we do not accept that one Upanishad says this and the other Upanishad says that is not acceptable to us. To who? The traditional people. As far as scholars are concerned, they say one Upanishad says this, other Upanishad says that. Meaning that there is no consistency among the Upanishads also. Then they will say that this Upanishad came later. There is a thought development. So they trace a thought development. In the beginning, the rishis thought that this is the thing. Later on, they discovered that no, it is somewhat different. Later on, yet somewhat different. That is how they see. They do not say that the Upanishads are the revelations of Ishvara. No. The scholars will only say that even Upanishads and Vedas also are the creations of human beings. Because the Rishis are there. In every mantra, the Rishi is mentioned. The Rishi is the creator, is the writer of that mantra. Why do you say Ishvara has revealed them? Why? Now then, the language of Veda is all different. Rig Veda is the most ancient Veda because it is Sanskrit. So, development of Sanskrit is seen then. How the language has developed from most ancient time, and Rig Veda is considered the most ancient text in the whole world. In India, in the whole world also. So what's the nature of Sanskrit there? And then they see other Upanishads, and you see that Sanskrit evolves. So Upanishads also came one after the other. So perhaps Brihadaranyaka is the most ancient Upanishad, and Chandogya also is pretty ancient. Maybe Kathopanishad is more a recent Upanishad, things like that. So this is the scholastic view. We don't accept that view. Our view is that all the Vedas, including Upanishads, all of them are revealed by Ishvara. And therefore, the Veda or Shabda is a nirdosha pramanam, is a faultless means of knowledge. Most trustworthy evidence or testimony. Shabda or trustworthy testimony also is accepted as pramanam by us, by Naiyayikas also. So Vedas are the most trustworthy testimony because Vedas are the revelations of Ishvara. Ishvara is Sarvajna. Therefore, in the omniscience of Ishvara, there is no defect that there is in the human mind. Vedas were creation of human mind, then they would also suffer from the same limitations that the human mind suffers from. Ajnana, samshaya, viparyaya, etc. So many defects are there in our mind. And then what is it? Karana apatutvam. Our sense organs also may not be efficient. Eyes are there, but they see only so much, not beyond, not earlier, not closer, and only within such range it sees. So, karana apatutvam. Vipralamlamba. Sometimes we believe that I know everything, I don't need to know further. That kind of vim, that kind of, notion also can, stop you from further investigation. All of this is possible in the human mind. Therefore, whatever, however great is the product of human mind, it is subject to these limitations. Therefore, anything created by human being cannot be considered as the ultimate, most reliable means of knowledge. It must be verified with the Vedas. So in our tradition, we accept only Vedas as the primary source of knowledge or the most authentic or reliable means of knowledge, because Vedas are revealed by Ishvara. And Bhagavad Gita also is accepted as revealed by Lord Krishna. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita also enjoys the status of Shruti, although it is classified as Smruti. So wherever there is a difference of opinion between Shruti and Smruti, then Smruti, which is the creation of rishis, is discarded and the statement of Shruti is accepted. But for us, so Veda is Pramanam. Vedas are revelations of Ishvara. And all the Vedas as one body of knowledge we accept. Similarly, all the Upanishads also are accepted as one body of knowledge. And therefore, they must be consistent in what they say. That's why Brahma Sutra came. Because people interpreted different Upanishads as they wanted, literally. So Brahma Sutra came specifically for this Tattva Samanvayat, to show the Samanvaya, so the consistency in the teaching of all the Upanishads. So between Sutraka and Bhashyakara, they have established this, that all the Upanishads, or that all the major Upanishads, say essentially the same thing. They do not differ from each other, they do not contradict each other. But then, if you see the statements, they appear to be different from each other. Like Chandogya says that the prana so merges into tejas, into fire. And that what is, I think Prashnopanishad says, now that has to be investigated where it comes from. But the other Upanishad says that all the pranas merge into Jivatma. So how do you reconcile? You have to reconcile. If Upanishad is Pramanam, it must be consistent. So one of the requirements of Pramanam, one of the requirements of the valid means of knowledge is that it must be consistent. My eyes are the Pramanam, the valid means of knowledge for the color and form. Therefore, they must consistently reveal the same thing. So, eyes reveal that this cloth is orange in color. After 5 minutes, suppose my eyes say that this is yellow in color. After half an hour, it says it is red. Tomorrow, it says it is blue. Then eyes are not consistent. We cannot depend upon our eyes. Then we have to go to doctor. If eyes are not consistent, we cannot accept that as pramanam, as the valid means of knowledge. So eyes can be accepted as valid means of knowledge only when they are consistent. So we go to the doctor when we find inconsistency, like cataract, etc., or whatever. Similarly, Upanishads are Vedanta Nama Upanishad Pramanam. What is meant by Vedanta is Upanishad, which is Pramanam, which is the valid means of knowledge. So all the Upanishads together form one body of knowledge and they consistently reveal the subject matter that they reveal. Well, Atindriya Vishaya, what we cannot arrive at by our perception or inference or our reasoning is which is where the Upanishads or Vedas are Pramanam. So nobody can see whether the speech has merged into what? Into mind or what vritti? Or where does prana merge? That we can't see. So we have to depend upon the scripture for that. However, in one place the Upanishad says the prana merges into fire. Elsewhere it says the pranas merge into Jivatma. So they do not seem to be consistent. How do you now reconcile between them? So this adhikaran for that purpose. Evameva imam atmanam antakale sarve pranaha abhisamayanti iti shrutihi. This Shruti statement which says that all the pranas come to the Jivatma. Iti shrutihi jive pranalayam aha. That Shruti says that the prana merges into Jiva. The example, yatha rajanam prayasantam sarve bhutyaha samayanti tadvat. Prayasantam. Prayasantam, pra plus ya. So ya is a dhatu, the decided yaya sati. Ya becomes yaya sati. So praya becomes praya sati. One who is desirous of going. Ya means to go. So one who is desirous of going, traveling, departing. So prayasantam, the king who is desirous of departing from the city for whatever reason. Sarve bhrutya samayanti. All the servants also approach him, go along with him. Isn't it? Samayanti, go along with him. Similarly, now the Jivatma is ready to depart from this body. All the pranas, all the sense organs, which are like servants, all of them join him. And so they can depart together. Because Raja always needs a servant. So Jivatma needs all the sense organs also. They join him. They approach him. But the Shruti says prana tejasi. The prana merges into tejas, not into Jivatma. Nacha pranas tejasi di shrutya virodha. There is no virodha, no contradiction between the two. That prana merges into Jiva or prana merges into tejas is no contradiction. Jivena sahita prana paschat tej adi bhuteshu liyatedi vyakhyatum shakyatvat. That prana does merge into tejas. But first merges into Jivatma, and along with Jivatma, it merges into tejas or fire or the five elements. That way also you can explain prana tejasi. It is possible to explain that. Tasmat prana jive prasamatah layam prapya paschat tadvara bhuteshu liyate. Therefore, the conclusion is that prana first merges into Jivatma and through that merges into the five elements. So that's the Siddhanta. Okay, we'll continue tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.